Hi, I'm Scott Noonan, the CEO of Audio Advice. Today I'm super excited to show you a near-field home theater that we installed in a relatively compact bonus room. For those of you who subscribe to our channel, you know we have made videos on lots of different theaters, and usually we end up in homes with dedicated theater rooms that are these really big rooms, but the reality is that most people don't have that kind of space available. So today I'm going to show you how you can put a terrific home theater in a more compact space. We will take a look at what the space looked like before we started installing, and then I'll show you the full time lapse of the install and end watching a few clips to see how well it performs. So the first step is to go to the free home theater design tool at audioadvice.com, and we put in the dimensions of the room. And what you'll see when you do that for this particular room, where you've got a 16-foot wide room, but only 13 feet deep, which is pretty typical for a lot of bonus rooms, particularly with an arc ceiling, is that we can use a television in this room and get the full immersion level. And so you'll see you can toggle in the tool between the projector and between a television and see that with a television you can get over a 35-degree viewing angle, which is about average what you would get sitting in the middle of a theater. In addition, you can lay out all the speakers, and you'll see how we've done that here. The next thing that we do is we convert that to a full 3D dimensional design of the room so that ourselves and the homeowner can actually see what does this look like when it's done. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the room now. Come on in. You'll see all that's been done now is we have the electrical in here, and we've got the pre-wire, and the sheetrock has just gone up. Let's start with the front wall here. The television will go here. You'll see we've got coming out here the center speaker cable plus Cat 6, which is what we're gonna bring the HDMI over. So it basically future-proofs us, allows us to do a long run. We've got the left speaker here, right speaker here, and then you'll see we've got our surrounds back here on this side and that side. We're sitting at about 12 feet wide and about 13 feet deep, and we've got this extra nook over here where we've got all the cable coming out, and we're going to put the rack here. You can actually see it right here in the corner, and as you'll see me say on every single video, for all the speaker wire we've got pulled everywhere, plus all the wire here, you want to pull plenty extra so you've got room to service it, dress it, and set it up when you're done. Okay, so now let's take a look at the finished room. This thing really turned out incredible. I want to point out a few things as you come in. Obviously, the performance of the room is really, really good. But the other thing is, in terms of aesthetics, it's turned out great. We actually used a sort of flat, dark gray paint around the room so we don't get reflections everywhere. The 85-inch Sony television actually looks beautiful from the center seats in here. As you saw in the home theater design tool, we can use a full 85-inch television and get full immersion here. And one of the reasons we can, and you'll see I've laid back this Revolution chair here. These Revolution chairs actually only need 8 inches between the back of the chair and the wall, because when they recline, they actually pull more forward than they go backwards, which is ideal for a setting where you need to be close to the back wall. So now let's take a look at the audio for a second. So we used Heco speakers in here, which is a brand that Audio Advice brings in from Germany. And you'll see these are the 44Fs. I'll show you just a couple of interesting things if you're thinking about doing your own theater, how this is done. One, obviously, these are on-wall speakers. They actually have front firing ports here, so we can get more bass and tighter mid-range coming out of them. And the Fluctus tweeter has really good dispersion for using in a home theater. We've actually also matched these with the little brother, which is the 22F, that is serving as the surrounds in here. So now let's move over and take a look at what we used in terms of amplification and processing. Okay, so let's check out the rack over here. This is actually a salamander rack. These salamander racks are designed specifically for audio video equipment. They've got the right depth, the right width for AV equipment, but also you'll see it's open in the front in terms of using this grate and open in the back to enable airflow through it so everything stays cool. If you're actually trying to figure out how to set up your rack, in other words, where each piece of equipment should go, do you put your power down one side and all your other cables down the other? Check out the link in the description where we have a full video on how to design and set up a home theater rack. Okay, so let's take a look at the rack here. We've got the cable box, we've got all the power here. This is the switching for internet and Ethernet. This is the Blu-ray player. We've got the Xbox, Apple TV, and the Integra 4.3. The 4.3 is ideal for this situation because it's got the processing in terms of all the surround sound, all the HDMI switching, it's Atmos enabled, Dolby Vision enabled, plus it has 100 watts per channel. And a lot of times you'll see these sort of cheaper products come out and they'll say 200, 300 watts per channel, and it's all a bunch of marketing jumbo. The reality is you need to look at what the distortion is at those amplification rates, how good the power is in it. These Integras, if you lift them up, you will see they are heavy because they've got great power supplies to provide great clean power. They have terrific DACs, so the audio sounds incredible. And then they also have great capacitors in them, meaning they can bring in power and hit peak loads that are really high. And what that ultimately does is it allows you to listen to something really, really quiet, and then boom, when you hear a big explosion, it can throw power and surpass that 100 watts per channel instantly and then drop back down. Okay, so this room also has Atmos with these two speakers that are just above and in front of the chairs. You'll see in the home theater design tool, it will show you exactly where to put your Atmos speakers, depending on whether you've got 2 like this room or 4 or even 6 Atmos in your room. The other cool thing about this Integra receiver is it will actually upscale into Atmos, non-Atmos content, so you can get the full immersion pretty much in anything that you watch or listen to. Okay, so let's take a look at what we did with the sub. For subwoofers where you've got one going in a room, getting placement is sort of key. And I actually made a full video that we've linked in the description, or if you're on audioadvice.com, you can just go to all of our how-to guides there. But what you'll see is I walked through how do you find the right place for a sub? And we actually pre-wired to have a subwoofer up here or to put the subwoofer back in there. And it turned out when our team went through the process, it actually turned out way better having it corner loaded up here, which is usually the case. But let's just take a look at what we've got here. This is the SVS SB3000, which is a killer sub. It's a 13-inch high extrusion subwoofer. It's sealed versus being ported, so we've got really tight, clean bass. It has 800 watts per channel, but it can peak at over 2,500 watts per channel. We've crossed it over at 80 hertz with all these front speakers, which is ideal for getting the right blend between the mid-range in here and the deep bass coming out of this subwoofer. The next step here is we're going to run the EQ calibration. That's going to set our levels and our distances and all of our crossover points. One of the things I'll say, we often go into rooms that someone's either done it themselves or maybe another company did it, and they ask us to come in and say, can you make this better? I want the room to be better. And one of the big things that can be done is just calibrating it correctly. So we're actually going to produce a host of calibration videos, some audio test tones and some video test patterns over the next couple of months. If you want to make sure you get those, click subscribe and also choose notify, and it will notify you when our videos are coming out. And you'll see we're going to intermix those over the next couple of months with a bunch of home theater videos and other things like that. So let's go ahead and get started with the calibration. All right, so let me just show you a few more things about the Revolution chair. I'm actually going to sit it and show you how this works. There is a recline button here that you saw earlier. You set yourself in the recline position that you want to lay down at. Then the next button is you move the headrest, and the goal is to set it at The perfect angle so you're completely relaxing watching television. This can be done pretty much on any height person on this chair. There's a memory 1 and memory 2 here. And then we also added a dim button on the cup holder lighting. So, and it also lights below the chair. You hit it once to turn it on, dim it down a little bit, dim it down. So depending on the lights in the room, it sets the dim level perfectly. And then every chair we actually ship with one of these tray tables. And we did a really premium table here, so none of your food or wine or drinks slip off of it. And there's a spot for a drink holder there. So pretty cool chair. #1 selling chair actually at Audio Advice. In terms of control, we did a Control4 system. So this one universal remote controls everything. If you hit watch, you can choose Apple TV, Blu-ray, cable, Xbox, and then you have volume up and down, channel changing capability. And then even if you hit list, you can go to custom buttons we put in, as well as set different lighting scenes in the room. So in terms of acoustics in the room, we have a big advantage that we've got a super plush carpet, plus the Revolution chairs, both of which absorb frequency so we don't have too much echo in the room. But because it's a compact room, especially with this roofline diagonal right here, we needed to add some additional treatment. So we actually have Cinema Round from Acoustics here, Cinema Round there. They're both absorbers. And then we have a diffuser in the middle. And we did the same thing at the first reflection here. And then on the back wall, another absorptive panel. We actually have a video on how to install these. And the homeowner actually installed them themselves. All right, so let's take this room for a spin. One of the things I love about compact rooms like this is it creates near-field listening, which means it's almost as if you are sitting right inside of, for instance, a race car. So I'm gonna put on Formula One, which is on Netflix. That has both Dolby Atmos and Dolby Vision. So we're gonna take full advantage of the HDR in the television and in the surround sound in the room. So I'm gonna play it and walk around and just give you a sense of what this feels like. Hopefully you'll enjoy it. I'll talk a little bit as we go through it. So I'm in the middle of season 3, Formula One.
So was he not meant to overtake Charles? Charles meant to be ahead of him.
So I don't know if you can tell, but it literally sounds like you are sitting inside the headset or sitting in the Formula One car right now. You can hear all the car sounds around you, including the cars coming flying from behind you, going to in front of you. And I'll just walk around a little bit. You can hear the difference from in the front speakers. Now we're hearing the music come from above. The roar of the engines coming from behind is pretty incredible. Okay, so the second clip we're gonna do, you'll see Our Planet on Netflix has both Dolby Vision and Dolby Atmos. So again, really pulling the fullness out of this room. I'm gonna hit play. For those of you who have seen this, it's pretty cool in terms of just seeing the amazing videos that they've been able to pull off around the world. So what I wanna show here is how they're able to use the Dolby Vision to have tight HDR, where you can have really dark darks and then really bright brights in here. Frankly, it's just super hard to pull that off in a projector system, but with a television, you can get incredible detail. And anyways, if you want to check out something with great Dolby Vision in it, check out this Our Planet, and you can also get Atmos at the same time. It's a pretty cool clip. Suffice it to say, this system just immerses you because it's so tight and compact, and all the speakers are around you. Literally, the experience is incredible. If you're thinking about building a home theater or updating yours, jump over to the home theater page at audioadvice.com, where you can design your own system using our free home theater design tool, see lots of videos of installations like this one, as well as browse our inspiration gallery and how-to videos. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can also click in the description to see our full playlist of installations of home theaters, from simple living room systems to massive luxury theaters and everything in between. Also, if you have any questions at all, give us a call or chat with us at audioadvice.com or swing by one of our award-winning showrooms. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe to get the latest in home theater and audio content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.